Curious Communities, Department of Child Services. Today we are touring the Department of Child Services, so let's head in.
Hello, Nikki.
Hi.
Welcome
How are
to
you?
Jackson County Department of Child Services.
Thank you.
I'm Rob. I'm an assessment family case manager. The reasons families would come here would be families that are in need of support or services or both. Okay.
And this is just the lobby. Hello.
Hi.
So they'll check in, and there's a restroom if they need it.
Yep. And back here's where meetings and stuff take place. Come on in. Oh, this is Ms. Barnes, supervisor. This is Jim Klaus. He's the permanency family case manager.
Good morning.
And this is our small conference room. And we do child family team meetings here.
Yeah, this is where we confer.
Okay. So how would you describe a child family team meeting?
We develop teams that are composed of, largely we like to pull in what we call informal supports. That's family members. And it's centered around the child that is being detained by the department or is the focus of the meeting. And that's why it's called a child family team meeting.
Okay.
And usually it's grandparents, parents, and you know, aunts and uncles and people like that, as well as neighbors or any other support that the parents want to be part of their team. And the team is, we use a strengths-based approach, which means that we focus first on the strong points of the parents and build from there. And we use the family to hold the parents accountable. We develop a case plan, give them usually about 3 things, because you don't want to overload everybody, to work on over the next 6 months. And we set goals, and then the family, you know, helps them, gives them support and accountability. It's kind of like weight loss. You know, if you got somebody that's holding your feet to the fire, likely to make progress.
All right. Sounds great.
So the Department of Child Services vision is that Indiana children will live in safe, healthy, and supportive families and communities. And so the mission of our department is to engage with families and collaborate with community partners to protect children from abuse and neglect and provide child support services. This is our agency's poster to visually depict the vision, mission, and then the values that we work under and the skills that we utilize in order to meet our mission.
Okay.
The family meeting, the child family team meeting that I talked about before, kind of plays into this. And one thing that I didn't hit on was the providers are part of that. They're formal supports, and it's really based on the family and the team members that are going to have a lot more contact with the parents. And all of this kind of all folds in together to help support the kids, because that's the focus.
Absolutely. That's awesome.
So this is where we do supervised visits, parents, children, family. They have like, you know, a set amount of time that they visit with their children. And if they have to be like court ordered supervised or whatever, that goes on here. We're goofy. That's what happens in here.
Okay.
That's where all the good stuff happens. Parents get to reunite, build that relationship, all that kind of stuff. Come on this way. And this place has a lot of kids, so we have a lot of kids stuff.
This is Rob's office chair.
Oh.
Yeah. And here's another visitation room. We sometimes use it for older children and things like that. It's a nice place for families to sit, do paperwork, catch up, make plans. Also supervisable. You go in there.
So this is a room where the supervisors can sit.
Yeah, I'll sit in here.
Oh, hi. And they can see what's going on without really interrupting the families, which is nice.
This is our large conference room. This is where we do office trainings, get everybody together at the same time, which we haven't done for over a year due to COVID. So we're just now back in the office and getting ready. We get training from officers and police officers and things like that. There's different support groups that meet here. There's like a monthly child protection team that meets here. Miss Barnes, what does some of the child protective team entail when they come in here? What's that about?
Okay, so the child protection team is a group of individuals from the community that meet monthly and review all substantiated abuse and neglect cases. We discuss the level of intervention that was made and if there are any services being provided to the family, and just have a community discussion on making sure that we're providing for the family in the family the support they need. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
This is Supervisor Moss. She's a Safe Sleep Ambassador with the Jackson County Department of Child Services. She's now going to show us how to properly swaddle an infant.
All right.
All right, so I have our Safe Sleep baby here. And first of all, I would like to explain that when you're getting ready to swaddle a baby, that using blankets that are big, soft, and fluffy like this are generally not a good idea because they can come loose, they can go over the baby's face, and they're generally not a safe option. Some of the alternatives that you can look for when babies grow out of the swaddle stage is looking for a sleep sack. These are safer for them. You can zip them up, put the baby inside, and then the baby's not going to be able to break free or get that fabric up above their face. So what I have is a swaddle blanket that I was going to give a demonstration for. You can swaddle baby's arms in or out, but for this demonstration I'm going to do both of the baby's arms in. So what you want to do is swaddle one arm first. So you're going to take the blanket, make sure that it's tight, roll the baby over to the side, and then make sure that you have the blanket wrapped underneath their bottom.
Okay.
The next part is going to be to pull up the blanket, making sure that the blanket does not go over the baby's face, so you can fold it if you need to. Make sure that that's tight, and then pull this around again. And then for as long as the blanket is, you can take that and wrap it around the baby's body as many times as you need to. And as long as it's safe, or as long as it's tight enough, the baby is not going to be able to break free.
Okay.
And then you can tuck the blanket underneath, and then your baby is good to go. Just make sure that when you're done, that it's tight enough, making sure that the blanket is not going to be able to get up over the baby's face. And if you feel like it's too loose, you can always re-swaddle. There's different methods to do it, but that's generally the easiest and the fastest one.
Okay. And then how long can they leave them in a swaddle? Is it okay overnight?
It is, but generally swaddling is only going to last until a baby is able to roll over, which is about 4 months. So a sleep cycle for a baby is usually only 2 to 3 hours. And so you're going to be taking them out to change their diaper or when they wake up, but it's always safe to re-swaddle them and then put them back into a crib on their back.
Okay. Thank you.
You're so welcome.
Your baby is very safe.
We have a campaign currently, that's statewide actually, that is trying to educate everybody on safe sleep. And what we mean by safe sleep is creating an environment where your child is, it lessens or hopefully eliminates the risk of them dying in their sleep through suffocation.
Okay.
We have these, we're getting these out in the community. You may see these in your local stores or wherever, definitely in some public buildings. In Indiana, 2 babies die every week from suffocation. That's pretty astounding, actually, that it's that high. And we just teach that you keep them safe by putting them alone. What we mean by that is not with a bunch of stuffed animals and stuff like that, or with other kids that can roll into each other. So you have them alone on their back and in a crib.
Okay.
And other things you could use in substitute of a crib, like a pack and play, but it has to be an approved sleep apparatus, and you don't want to put anything extra in there, a stuffed animal, even though it's tempting to put their favorite
It's
thing.
cute, but it's not safe.
Right. And even blankets too, because they can get entangled in the blanket, and next thing you know, they're suffocated. So we're just trying to educate the public on the dangers of of certain innocent practices that can end up in a fatality.
Yeah. So when you put your baby to sleep, you want them alone, on their back, and in a crib?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Sometimes, when the families come to visit, if the weather's permitting, they like to visit outside here with the kids, the parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, friends, and they, have lunch or supper, whatever time it is, and the kids play and run around.
So they have a nice big playground.
It's just so, if we have any children here, they can burn off some energy. Just a safe place, all enclosed. And this is where it happens.
All right.
Whatever it is. That ends our tour of the Jackson County Department of Child Services office.
All right. Thanks so much.
Thank you for coming. See you later.